Hi everybody, wanted to bring you in on a 2025 Ranger Rover that we did a light polish on. Just want to kind of talk you through a little bit of what I'm doing here, and as you guys can see, we did a hyperCLEAN wipe on the whole car prior to starting to polish. I got to tell you, I started to use the 3-inch from Flex here. I have never used that polisher. On this car, I'm going to actually show you two polishers I had never used, this one or the 5-inch that I'll be bringing at a different part of the video. As you can see, the mirrors took a little damage. Any of this black piano trim, that's the only thing we really saw in bad shape on this car. So I'm going to go ahead and clean it up with our polish. It's unreleased at the moment, but it should be out in the next month or two. Just clean up the tick marks. Wasn't in horrible shape, but a lot of tick marks on the black plastic. This is the Liquid Elements polisher that I purchased that people were talking about. I got to tell you, it's an okay polisher. It's a couple $100, has pretty good torque, runs decently well. I was not overly impressed, but it was it's a good polisher and a good entry level polisher, I'm sure. So I'm glad I tried it out. As you can see here, just going to do a couple passes. Many of you know, for those that don't, this is done in the test spot. Didn't want to bore you with the test spot here. The front two doors on this car were pretty interesting. And for me, one of the things that I try to do is when you see me doing like, that motion where I'm moving it into a space, almost looks like I'm sawing back and forth. One of the things I do is if there was damage in that area, polish like this can get it out. You just got to work it, kind of scrub it a little bit. So I can see through the polish that we just have a little bit more to remove. For those wondering, that's just kind of something I've always done. I'm sure a lot of people do it. I know we have people that have lots of experience watching this and people with no experience. This is what you would call typical edge work for me. When you see me take the Flex polisher and do all of these different little intricate areas. There's a ledge there. Many of you will notice that I didn't tape anything off on this vehicle. First of all, our polish is not going to damage any rubber trim. It's easily wiped off, but also there isn't very much to worry about on these 2025 Range Rovers, so that's why nothing is taped off. Now I'm going to go around the door handle. Can easily be done with a 5-inch. I just kind of wanted to mess around with the Flex. As you see here, one of the things that I really liked about this Liquid Elements polisher was it really handled curves pretty well. Like I said, pretty high torque for a DA of this price point, so no complaints. You guys will see me working bigger areas than some people. When I see that I have enough of a polish or a compound, I'll just extend my working area. And as you can see with our unreleased polish here, it has a long working time. That is not achieved by heavy oil content. It's achieved by different chemistry, so you will not have to worry about oil interfering with a coating application, which we see a lot from a lot of different polishes that are used. The other thing I want to say is sometimes people try to go too aggressively. When I did a test spot and I used a 1-step, it was just too aggressive. A nice light polish is all this needed. Here's again black piano trim that Range Rover just is having trouble with. What you'll see when I get done with this, I switched to a white softer pad. It just made it easier. I could have gotten a result with the yellow pad, but the white pad made quick work of it, just kind of easier on this back panel. If you see the damage towards the left side of the trim right there, I'll be coming back with a 1-inch just to test it out. So I kind of left all the edge work here for later. I did remove the license plate. Obviously, you saw it earlier, but I removed it before I got started down here. This is where the polisher kind of impressed me. There's a lot of little different curves right here. It's not rocket science by any means, but I think it's one of those things, if you look at it, this is an area where you want this thing to perform well, not bog down, not have, I did the whole ledge with the 5-inch there. And like I said, part of the reason I did so much edge work up around the doors and stuff is I just wanted to test the 3-inch polisher. And also I had to do this over multiple days. Obviously I wanted to film it, so I want to be clear about that. I think all in all with coating application, this was somewhere between 3.5 and 4 hours. Wasn't a very difficult situation. And this client's going to get rid of this car in 2 years, like she does like clockwork. So we just want to take out any kind of factory damage or anything like that. And you can see I'm taking this polisher up on edge and it worked well. Again, I just wanted to get comfortable and use the 3-inch polisher more, but we're getting closer. You guys can kind of see. Some guys are going to try to force the 5-inch right here. What I find it just speeds up me at times is I got the 3-inch in my hand. Let me just kind of handle all this stuff really quickly. I don't know how everybody else does it, but I've just found that that's made my life a little easier. And sometimes it's monotonous just to keep holding the same polisher. So part of me, I just kind of like having a couple polishers and doing things a little bit differently on different parts of the car. When I look at this, there's a little crevice that runs, a little body line that runs there. You'll see a little excess polish there. You'll see me go back and clean that up. And that stuff doesn't bother me. I know a lot of people, get real picky about that, but I really allow the polish to sit where it needs to sit. And then if I go back over it an extra time, it doesn't bother me. You see me kind of scraping here. This side of the car just had more damage. I think we're going to show a part of it here where we had a really weird like sanding mark from the factory. Maybe I wouldn't even say it's the factory. Maybe somebody tried to remove some type of minor scratch and just went too far. You'll see it on the driver's side door here. There you go. There's the factory defect. That's what we call it in the video, but just kind of seems strange. And it's a minor defect, right? We're just going to take that out really quickly. But one of the interesting things is that I came back after this. We're going to show when I get done here. Also, to go over those door handles, which I did end up going over all door handles, you just want to not jam a bunch of product in there. So just do it at the end of your cycle of polish and then go up there and you won't jam anything into those door handles at all. So I left them open to get the 3-inch as close as possible just because it makes me feel better. But as you can see, the defect is gone. We're good to go. One of the things I like the flex for on this with our polish in this pad was I just separated the fender, the front fenders into basically, all 3-inch. I mean, it really went quickly and it really worked well. So I'd have this one, I do the top part first, all the way up to the edge of the fender. Probably 3 different sections. Then I go down here. This would be another section. I found this, it was really quick work. I'm pretty impressed with this. And then I would just do on the body line on each side of it. This would just be one whole section. Now I switched to the Milwaukee just because I didn't want to drag a cord over. And normally, look, I do the hood first. So this is just a little bit out of sequence with editing, but this was done first. This is one of those things that, I kind of look at it and I have really good reviews of the Milwaukee. I know people ask me about machines. The Milwaukee is a nice machine to use. The battery's kind of awkward, but as you can see, you guys are getting a good look at our polish. This polish it finishes out so nice. It wipes off really easily, but when I see that I've got a little excess polish, as you guys can see, I'll just come down and spread that polish a little bit more onto the front, and it just makes things a little bit simpler for me. Here we go, the 1-inch. I was impressed with this. I talked to the customer. Normally, if it was my car, these letters would have come off. She's very picky about them, so we left them there. I want to thank everybody for watching and checking out our new polish. I hope I got to explain a little bit to everybody.